One of my favourite pieces of advice for composition is that repetition is your friend, but if you don't do it right, it's still gonna sound bad. So yeah, here's some quick tips to make your compositions, your melodies, your grooves sound super interesting and cohesive as a piece. So let's say we've got a little groove here that goes something like this. Super nice. We've got a little bass line going on here, we've got a simple groove going on here. It all sounds lovely together. Let's make it more interesting, regardless of how many times we repeat it. The first thing that we can do is shift one of the notes in terms of its placement rhythmically. So instead of landing on the one, we're going to land on the and of the one. And in doing so, we're syncopating that beat. We're diverting expectations. We're making it land when we don't expect it to. So from this to this. You see how in the first version, I'm playing the ding and the bass note at the same time on beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And in the second version, it's coming on the and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. In fact, I've shifted this one as well. It's all shifted from the downbeats to the offbeats. So that's just got an extra bit of funk. It just lifts a little bit. Next step then would be to just swap and change when you choose to do that, right? So don't do it the same all the time. Don't just do it 4 times one way, 4 times another way. The real interest comes when you start to mix and match, right? Oops. Yeah, see that at the end there? I'll do that again. Another little technique that I snuck in there by accident as well, which is to actually take things away. So instead of adding new ideas, I'm just taking elements of what I've already got away. And I don't know if you spotted it, but the thing that I took away was one of the ding strikes on beat 1. So I'm diverting expectations yet again by completely getting rid of the foundation itself, the thing that's keeping us going with that pulse, right? I'm eliminating it completely. So we went from this to this. This. You see how sometimes there's a gap? It's because I'm taking away the first beat here on the ding. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and whoa, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For this one, we don't want to do it too often because otherwise there really is no foundation. We need a downbeat on beat 1 sometimes. We need something to hold us together. But it's really nice to just take that away now and then. And you can take that idea and apply it anywhere, right? All of these ideas don't just apply to this particular rhythm. They apply to anything that you're composing or improvising. Shift part of the melody to make it more groovy and then swap and change how you do that. So sometimes the melody happens like this, and sometimes the melody happens like this, and then take things away. And it's really impactful when you take away beat 1, but you can do that in other places as well. You might have noticed as I was doing that, in order to keep myself in time, I was starting to implement some ghost notes. Watch again the way that I play this. hands are doing this. I'm not being super specific about my technique, I'm just kind of letting my hands drop really quietly on the metal here. You can barely even hear it, right? But then, every now and then, I'm able to just bring in an extra little bit of dynamic. If my ghost notes are at this level, and my regular notes are at this level, then what I want to do is kind of start to explore the in-betweens, this dynamic range here. It doesn't have to be this and this all the time. There's so much room to experiment. So what I'm doing here, I'm not changing anything about my hand pattern. I'm not doing any fancy frills. All I'm doing is keeping the pedals going, if you like. And then every now and then, particularly with my pointer finger, I'm kind of coming into the ding space and striking a little bit firmer. And I can do this at lots of different levels. And in different places as well. Right? And exploring that textural range and that dynamic range to make my groove more interesting. In my head, I haven't changed the groove. The groove is still dum, cat, But what's different is that now, because I've got these ghost notes going, every now and then, I'm just adding a bit of dynamic in the ghost notes, which every bar changes the feel of that groove a little bit. It stops it from just being really static and boring, right? Yeah. Shift it even more. And then you can add those fancy frills, those little twiddly things. The easiest one is probably the drumstick fill. I learned this from Dan Mulqueen. It's literally a double here and a double here. I'm playing middle, pointer, middle, pointer. Dominant hand, non-dominant hand. And that's super easy because we quite naturally just kind of fall down anyway. What we need to be careful about though is that we're really placing those beats. We're not just kind of, letting them fall, but that we're actually being quite intentional and letting them be equally spaced. Good exercise for that is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2. Right? I probably sped up already. I need to practice that. Do that with a metronome and you'll nail those drumstick rolls. They're a really nice in for starting to add some frills. Another easy one is the lazy roll, is what I call it, and it's literally just kind of letting your hand flop down. This is probably even easier because you don't have to be intentional with the timing on this one. You can just kind of let it flop. That kind of covers it without starting to add things. You saw there that I started to add some melody. But you could, again, I don't want to add stuff to this, but what you could do is start to move things around. The repeating thing here in the groove that I've got is this note happens a lot, right? I can start to move that note to make it more interesting. To move the note that you've already got. Keep the placement, but move what note it actually is. So yeah, my encouragement to you, what I encourage you to do is, before you start thinking about what can you add, how can you write a new section to your composition, how do you create a bridge between this section and this section, before you think about any of those things, first think about what you can do with what you've already got and how you can adjust it slightly in a tiny, tiny way. And in doing so, you're getting that repetition that I always bang on about. Repetition is your friend, but you're doing it in a way that is mature. It's not quite the word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. You're doing it there's a word I'm looking for that I've lost. Anyway, you're doing it in a very intentional way, and you're doing it in a way that is still interesting, brings intrigue, diverts expectations, keeps the listeners engaged, and keeps you engaged as well as a player, keeps you having fun. So enjoy. Do come and join as a Patreon if you want to. I've got a whole WhatsApp group. You can have my number. You can join the group. There's a bunch of people in there sharing their own ideas and their own inspiration. I would love to have you there. I would love to see what you're playing and get inspiration from you as well, and hear your questions and all that fun stuff. I'll put a link in the description below if you're interested in that. Otherwise, I'll see you in another video here very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a wonderful week.